Can you try saying something now, John?
Can you hear me now?
It's off.
Is it sounding all right? I can
Yes.
hear you just fine. I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it was just something on one little button changes so much.
Well, you're coming in loud and clear, John, so we can hear you well.
Perfect. All right. Meetings recording.
Okay,
We have a quorum,
want to get started?
acting chair.
All right, so I'm gonna call the meeting to order. And first thing is if we have any additions, removals, or adjustments to the agenda. We never do. All right, new business, we have permit number 25-062, Kenneth Johnson and Ann Majusiak.
My U-Shock.
Mayushak,
Mhm.
South 116 Road, requesting conditional use approval for the addition to a non-conforming accessory garage. And let's go ahead and get started. Before we get going, can I have you raise your right hand? And do you swear before this board to only share the truth?
I do.
Good enough. Okay, so can you take us through kind of a little bit of the history, what you're doing here and what makes this building non-conforming?
How much history do you want?
Not the whole history.
It was built in the seventies by the people who lived in the old farmhouse and everybody had a wood shop up there. And they moved away. And then when I bought my house, because the property lines had never been established, my brother-in-law, Bill Sayer, was kind enough to put the property line over where it is, right north of the garage, so that I had a garage. And so it's been like that since that time. And now I have, now that I'm older, I have a skid steer. I like to brush hog a walking path. And it's getting harder to do it by hand. And I've got a skid steer. I'd like to park it inside because my bucket froze on earlier this week and it's a pain in the ass. So I'd like to be able to shelter that machine and about it.
And so the non-conformance is just the distance from the property line?
Right. Correct. The north side is 15 feet from the property line.
What is the new addition? Um, non-conforming, or is it the original building?
It's basically adding on to the side that's away from the property line.
Right.
So-
The side opposite.
It does
Doesn't make it
not,
any worse.
it does not extend the non-conformance. It goes in the other direction,
Correct.
which is one reason why I don't have a problem with it. I appreciate, by the way, all the detail in your letter. Thank you.
My wife also tells me I write too much, and every once in a while.
So it looks like you tore a building down?
That, now you're really asking for history.
No, but
When I moved into the house, that was the last piece left of the original barn. Because the barn used to go all the way up to here.
Okay.
And it tore it down and tore it.
I hope you frozen.
Water. Kind of. Apparently we sold farm supplies.
right, so at one point there was a
At one building.
building there anyways, so.
Yeah. Probably the biggest event was when this north end flew over. My grandfather was walking by at that moment. And it's not to get ahead. Kept horses in there when we first moved there.
Yeah.
I think we had 6 teams. Anyway, that's too much history. I know.
6 teams?
I think we had 6 teams of horses to pull the lumber around the yard and drag the logs out of the pond, stuff like that.
Wow.
I wasn't alive at that point.
Got any pictures of that? I'd love to see some of those pictures if you have anything like that from back then. That's off the topic of this meeting, but it'd be interesting.
I'll do some digging. I'm a little skeptical, but I'll do some digging.
So the garage is outside of the floodplain?
No. The floodplain goes all the way to Route 116. Well, the worst one was 98, I think, and we had water running. There was brush up against the tree between my house and the road, which is the worst it's ever gotten. But Everything in that side of the road is in the floodplain. As you go north, it curves away some, but not where my house is, worst we had was about 4 feet of water in the basement. Now I have 2 sump pumps and all as well. Doesn't increase the flow of the water in any extent because the water flows south.
Sounds like the foundation you want to put under it is very sort of permeable and it'll let the water around and through it. Groundwater.
It's like really.
Oh, well, the board's been pretty generous with allowing people to do this kind of stuff, non-conforming garages and add-ons and, in the village, we have we've approved people, putting garages pretty much on the property line. And
In the village, I would guess the thinking's probably a little different.
yeah, and so what is the standard here? Is it 25 feet?
Yep.
And
Oh,
yeah.
wait, sorry, I'm having technical difficulties and Zoom is crashing. So we're losing our.
I lost you. Shucks.
Going investigation,
Breaks my heart every time I walk by.
blah, blah, blah. That looks horrible.
Sorry about that, John. Zoom crashed.
Okay.
Did it, before it crashed, were you hearing everything?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Where did it leave off?
Uh, good question. I think it was when somebody asked the question, is the setback here about 25 feet or something? And I'm actually interested in the answer to that question and how far the current building is from the line.
Well, the building. This little addition is added on the south side of the garage, which is the side that's farthest from the property line, so that's gonna be about 45 or 50 feet away from the property line where the addition starts, and it'll be 12 feet or something like that. and the width of the garage.
And what's to the north of the property line there? It's not shown on the map, of course, but I'm just curious what's just north there.
Say again, sorry.
What's just north of the property line there? It doesn't
The
show it on the map.
earth, waste and metal. The
Right.
former some property, which was, and that portion of it was the original farmhouse that my grandfather bought when they moved down here.
Was this one RA1 or RA5? Two, dang it. Go look up the setback real quick.
25 feet.
Yeah, so, and it looks like you're at 15 feet right now, so it's only a 10-foot difference between conformity and non.
So when I come back, when I want to build a little carport on my house and it's way away from the property line, that won't really be an issue.
Yeah, but as long as you're 25 off, you're good.
Cool.
You are in the flood zone though.
Yeah, I was trying to say, unless,
Yeah,
there's regulations about flood zone carports.
I wasn't sure on that.
From what little I know from dealing with the folks out in the mill yard, as long as it doesn't impede the flow of the water, it's okay. Because the water flows south, just like the river does, so it's the same width and doesn't change the profile of the building relative to the floodwaters.
There's. The floodwaters is a big one, and then a big one also is just making sure you have flood proofing materials. But that's more for, like houses,
Dwelling.
yeah,
Yeah.
or anything with like electrical, but since it's an existing building, that's, I mean, it's already, I'm guessing you do flood proofing already, being in the flood zone.
We've flood proofed the house to the extent that I added 2 sump pumps. The garage itself is actually above, actually higher than the house, but I'm sure it got wet.
Hmm.
Fairly sure.
And the gravel that you put on the floors, lets the water drain.
Is there anything that he would need from a state standpoint?
Really, it's the state. Well, any development in the flood zone goes to the state for their review. But really they're looking for like if you're gonna be proposing any alterations to the flood path. And reviewing to make sure any new construction does have considerations for flood impacts. So this will do similar with the Jason Spiegel, where I'll just send the approved application to Kyle Medash, who is our floodplain manager, and just see if he has any feedback. And if he doesn't have any feedback, then we continue on.
Okay, so there's basically, if we approve, there's just like going to be a waiting period essentially to get his response.
Yeah, but I sent him. I mean, I will send it to him, but I have a feeling Kyle has bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, the water's gonna be an inch or 2 deep there out in the mill yard. We had to put, the last thing we built, we put the flood doors in.
Yep.
But the water gets 2 feet there, and at the office, in the worst one, it was at least 2.5, maybe 3 feet.
Mhm.
The way where we are, it's like that. We're fortunately at the edge of it.
Yeah, flood, development in the flood zone also is a conditional use, so. It's the same approval and same process. So,
For this addition, do we need to go through all the, things listed under conditional use or no?
Not entirely, because not all of it would apply. Conditional use is like asks for hours of operation, which would be for business, not for personal use. Other conditional use criteria.
Couple of them are like lighting, so that's always my bee in the bonnet. If you can, in so far as you may add exterior lighting to this new thing, I would just remind you the rule of thumb is to keep it on the property. Don't shine a bare bulb anywhere so it's off the property. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I have floodlighting that points down so we can see from the garage to the house, and I'm not adding any new exterior lighting.
Thank you.
We like to see the stars.
Um. Initial uses go through section 355 for general criteria. But this is more of the structure is non-conforming, which you're looking at if it increases the degree of non-conformance more than anything else.
And I would note again at the hazard of repetition that this does not increase the nonconformance.
Agreed.
Right.
Does anyone else have any concerns? Questions?
I look at it as there was a building there at one time anyways.
How old is the original garage there?
Thought we believed, I guess, that the farm was built about the 1840s, but the Bristol Historical Society will probably have a more concise. It's a nice old house.
But the garages you're adding on to,
That garage was built in the 70s after we tore the barn down because it got just too rotten to stay up.
What I would move that we approve this application pending the I'm not quite sure how to phrase this, but the additional review that you guys were talking about just a few minutes ago.
Onto the state that, yeah,
The floodplains.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
do we need
would it,
condition? Kind of assumed.
that if the state says no,
Yeah,
then I think it's worth mentioning, like pending state review.
okay.
or state approval?
Yeah, they
If
don't,
I was going to move it, I would say, pending state approval, because if the state doesn't approve, then it's kind of moot.
yeah,
Right.
the language in the regulations is that development in the floodplain gets sent to the floodplain managers. They have a more, it's the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources or to an approved designee. So send it to Kyle and then they give their feedback. Again, the approval is more if there was river channel alterations, altering the flood like path of the water itself. Yeah. But that's,
would it be good to add to the approval process that the project is approved because it does not increase the
degree of non-conformance.
degree of nonconformance, and it does not seem to interrupt the flow of the water
Uh-huh.
from the river.
Uh,
But John's already made the.
yeah, I mean, I would reform my motion a little bit, if that's okay with the group, and say that I would move to approve this, pending approval or review by, a review and approval by the appropriate floodplain authorities. Is that the right way to say that? And,
Yeah.
and, noting that it does not, increase the non-conformance. Is that a way to put it, Brenda? Does that get to your point?
Yeah,
And then you had a second point, and I'm not sure I have included that.
That it does not alter the existing flood path.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the authorities would be looking at, right? They would be assessing that. So I think maybe that's implicit in the first sort of phrase there, pending, assuming there's a approval by the authorities, the floodplain authorities. Would that satisfy you, Brenda?
Yeah, I just said it should be considered.
Okay.
So I'd make that my motion. I don't know if you've been jotting that down. I'm not sure it was so coherent, but
I second it.
Okay.
No,
Has somebody recorded?
do we have to open it up to the public? Do we have somebody here to speak on this?
now would be the time.
Yeah.
I'm fine, thank you, Seth, that was great.
Okay, so
All right.
we open it up to the public and nobody has any.
All right.
concerns, so-
Think we're good to vote? Okay, all in favor?
Did somebody second it?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
unanimous.
For all eyes.
Okay, cool.
Eyes all around.
Yeah,
Okay.
Eyes all around.
I have the conditions of, that approval, comes with. Approval is contingent on the review and approval by the state. That's the one condition.
But I think they're coming out with a lot of new rules and regulations for flood zone.
Those are working on a new flood map too,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, the new flood map by FEMA won't be publicly available until 2028, I believe.
Oh, boy,
But
this is right on the edge, but it's ridiculous to say that it's not, because it is in the floodplain, I've lived it.
yeah,
You'll be all right there, I think. I don't think there'd be any problem with that review for this addition here.
Either, if there is, we've got more problems than just that.
Right.
All right,
Thank you.
so yeah, we'll get the paperwork out and AB will follow.
that's,
Thank you.
you can.
All right. And then the next thing we've got on here is to go over the meeting minutes from our last meeting. I believe we've got enough people to prove this. Yep. Do you guys need a moment to go
next
through
week.
it?
I'm gonna abstain from this as I was not attending this meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, I wasn't there either.
all right,
Are there enough of us who work?
yes. All right, so you let me know if you guys have any changes.
I assume it's the four of us here.
Actually, 5 of us?
Who
Wait, 4 of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I looked it through, I don't see anything that needs correcting.
Right.
What's the date on that?
October 28th.
And move that we approve the minutes of October, you said October.
October 28th, yeah. Yeah, it's been a
Back a little
minute.
Time to move
I
it
move that we
forward.
approve the minutes of October 28th.
Sort
Right,
What were you there?
No.
You can't second it then.
Well, my name was here.
he was here,
I
Oh,
was-
you were.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
was sitting in the
yeah,
chair.
he was here.
Okay, no,
All right,
I just asked you.
all in favor of- those are in favor,
Aye.
okay.
I don't know.
Back all around, 5 to pass. And, that finishes it, so we'll call the meeting to adjournment.
I'm opposed.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon?
Anyone opposed to adjourning the meeting?
Oh.
If nobody ever opposes the adjournment.
I don't know, we're supposed to look for approval.
Thank you all.